Good morning, friends. How's everybody doing? Welcome back to Philo in the Philippines, North Caloocan City, where the city meets the province. How's everybody doing? I've been on a little bit of a sabbatical, I guess you could say. After 16 months in the USA, 11 of those months, actually, I was locked out of the Philippines. So if you're watching this, I want to thank you so much for joining the channel again. I know it's been a long time. I am overwhelmed by the response I've had on the Philo in the Philippines Facebook the last couple of days. Thanks so much if you took the time to put a comment there. It's very much appreciated. And let me give you guys a little catch up on what happened to me. Why I've been gone so long. Most of you know the Philippines got locked down. Many of us were locked out. Many foreign parents, many foreign spouses were locked out of the Philippines for exactly 11 months. So what happened is, back in July of 2020, I was just sick and tired of the lockdown, sick and tired of the alcohol ban. I'd been in the Philippines for 3 years. I needed a reset, and I thought that was going to be a good time to go back to the USA and visit my family there. Little did we know, Melanie and I at that time, what was going to happen. But at that time, all I needed to come back was to the Philippines was a PSA marriage certificate. So Melanie dug that up, and I took that back to the U.S. with me, and in hopes that I would be back to the Philippines by Christmas. So anyway, what happened to me is about 6 weeks after I arrived in the U.S., I began having very, very severe lower abdominal pain. I mean, so severe, you guys, that I ended up in a hospital emergency room, okay? And it turns out that I was diagnosed with a hernia, a left inguinal hernia. Now, some of you might remember that I went to the doctor in the Philippines. I was having these pain attacks in the Philippines as well. And in the Philippines, the doctor diagnosed me with an enlarged prostate. So she got it all wrong. So anyway, I had a left inguinal hernia, and for those of you that don't know, oh man, I cannot tell you the pain that I was in. So I had to have surgery. That was, what's the timeline on this? That was about the end of August that happened, okay? I hadn't been in the USA very long. So I had to have surgery, and what happened is it took me 6 months to actually get the surgery. I didn't have the surgery until the end of February. There's many reasons for that. One, I had to go through an insurance approval process. I got that done, and then after I got the insurance approval process, the Indiana, I was living in Indianapolis, they shut down all of their elective surgeries because of COVID. COVID got really bad there. I think there was one time during this whole thing that Indiana, the state I lived in, was the 5th worst in the country, or in the top 5 in the country, sorry. So anyway, the surgery date finally came around at the end of February. And Melanie and I are getting excited now because I still have the ability to go back at this time. I had the surgery at the end of February. It went well, about a 1-week recovery. Melanie and I began gathering our documents, and lo and behold, 1 week after my surgery, the Philippines permanently locked down. They weren't even allowing their own people to come back to the country. OFWs were locked out as well. That lasted about 30 days. At that time, the only people allowed into the country were seafarers and Philippine Navy. Because, of course, those guys, they're working out at sea. And those are the last people on the planet that are going to have COVID because they're not around anybody. So, at that time, we just got, kind of depressed, really. And I fell into a deep, deep, dark hole of depression, you guys. You can't imagine how hard it is to be away from your wife, your family, for that long. You want to come back. You can't come back. You don't have any control over it. And eventually, they changed the rules a little bit. It was locked down completely for a month, and then they made it so you had to have something called an entry exemption document from the Department of Foreign Affairs here in Manila. Now, you could apply for this document digitally. You didn't have to submit any paperwork, but it took about 90 days to get it, and the only people that were being approved for that entry exemption document were foreign parents who were in like an emergency situation. And a foreign spouse could get it too, but it had to be an emergency. There had to be some type of a medical reason here in the Philippines, a death in the family. Those were the only people that were coming in at that time. And that entry exemption document, that went on all the way until the 2nd of August. And finally, on the 2nd of August, the IATF and the Philippines Immigration finally welcomed back foreign spouses and foreign parents to the Philippines by lifting that entry exemption document. So all you had to have now is to apply for a 9A visa. And that was the 2nd of August. Now, incidentally, I'm sorry, I kind of jumped ahead of myself. Before that August 2nd date, like back in May, Melanie and I had just thrown in the towel. We had decided that we were going to wait until January of 2022 and I would just stay in the US. So I went back to work. I started driving for Uber, and I drove for Uber for 3 months. And that was really good. Uber is very, very lucrative here in central Indiana. I was actually shocked at how easy the money was to make and how much money was coming in. I was getting about $700 a week. I realize that's not a lot of money, but when you multiply that by 4 and add my monthly pension to it, it gave me a really nice livable wage for central Indiana. So while I was driving for the Uber, I started driving mid-July, and I drove through the end of September. But meanwhile, after that August 2nd provision happened with the IATF, Melanie and I began gathering documents furiously. The Philippines was still locked down. It took her about 2 to 3 weeks to get some of the documents that she needed, plus the notaries, because a lot of places were still closed. You still could not get go to PSA and get a document because they were closed because of COVID, the COVID lockdown. Now, where am I at? Sorry, you guys, it's unrehearsed. I haven't done this in a while. Believe it or not, I'm a little nervous. And I hope I can remember how to upload this thing to the YouTube. It's been a long time. So we got all the required documents. My Philippines consulate is in the city of Chicago. I began gathering all the documents on my end, filling out the application forms, getting everything, copies, all this. I mailed it off to Chicago on like the 27th of September on a Wednesday. I got it back the very next Wednesday with my visa. And wow, you would not believe how elated I was, because there's no guarantee that they're going to approve your visa. But thank you to the IATF for finally welcoming, getting families back together in the Philippines. That's the story. And I left. Let's see, what day did I leave the USA? I left the USA on the Monday, or sorry, it was Tuesday morning, November 9th. I flew from Indianapolis to Los Angeles. I had a 12-hour layover in LA, because the strategy now to come to the Philippines is you don't want to take a flight that lays over anywhere. Okay, you want to do a direct flight. Los Angeles has direct flights to Manila, I believe twice a day on PAL. So the PAL flights are double the price, $1,484 for a one-way ticket from LA to Manila. And then of course now you've got a quarantine hotel. I'm here at the Bayview Park Hotel overlooking the luxurious Boracay-like Manila Bay. And also the US Embassy's over there. I wake up to that every morning. Oh, let me show you guys. Oh, it's not bad. Let's see. There you go. There's Rojas Boulevard. You can see the U.S. Embassy over there and the new Boracay that they built right next to the U.S. Embassy. All that white sand. I guess it was open a couple of weeks ago. And if we look out this way, you can see down on Rojas, look at that traffic. Not too bad, really, for a Saturday. You can see the H2O Hotel over there, all the loading docks. But anyway, there you go. And that's what I see behind me here. Yeah. There you go. How about a quick tour of the room? Like you haven't seen enough hotel rooms in your life. This is the Bayview Park. You know, it's okay. Same. I know you've seen a million hotels in your life. It's no big deal. It's comfortable. The internet's pretty damn good, although it was down for a day. but the guy just came and fixed my internet, so I'm happy about that. And what else did I want to say to you guys? Where am I at? God, I've lost my place. And I'm even out of breath. I'm so fat now. I gained 18 pounds in the U.S. because that hernia just grounded me. For 6 months, I couldn't do anything. Even if I grocery shopped, you know, I could feel that that pain building. And I was actually, guys, afraid to go out in public because I didn't want to have a pain attack in public. It would be so embarrassing, you know. Anyway, I'm so happy to be back. So happy to be talking to you guys again and making videos. My first video in, how long? 17, 18 months it's been since I uploaded a video to YouTube. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for hanging in there with me. I'm on day 3. I've got to do 6 days of quarantine. I'm on day 3 now. It's Saturday, November 13th. How about that? I'm notorious for never knowing what day it is. But I know now because the countdown to North Calocan is here. I should be out of here Tuesday. I got to do a swab test on Monday morning. That result should come in late Monday night, and then I get released Tuesday morning from quarantine. And all I've got to do is jump in a taxi and go to North Calocan. Or maybe Melanie will come here. I don't know. I'll probably just grab a taxi so Melanie doesn't have to come here. It's a waste of her time, really, to come here just to turn around and go back. So anyway, once again, thank you so much, you guys, for staying with me. I was really, really overwhelmed by all of the comments on my Facebook page, and I'll get back home there pretty quick. We've got a brand new house to live in. I've got a brand new house to live in. Melanie and the kids have been there since mid-August. It's beautiful. I can't wait to show it to you. We've also got a new dog. I know you guys have met Kikai on Malai's vlog, but I'm really excited to get back. It's been just way too long, and it was very, very long, arduous struggle to go through. Very hard. I can't tell you how hard it's been. But we persevered, and Melanie and I have done the long-distance relationship before. We're very good at it. It's something that we've done a lot of in our relationship. And we knew that one day we'd be back together, and that day is finally here. Thanks again, you guys. We'll do another video very soon, I hope. I've got some bonding time to do with my family, and I want to do a video of the house for you guys so you can see the house. It is impressive, you guys. The house is impressive. Anyway, thanks again, and we'll see you real soon. Okay, and also, guys, I've got some shout-outs I want to do before I shut the camera off here. These are people that stayed in touch with me while I was in the U.S. to find out what was going on, how I was doing, to encourage me and tell me not to give up, that things are going to change and be good. My first shout out is to Jason Bellinger, better known as J Bizzle Fa Shizzle on YouTube. Tito Road, spoke with Tito Road many times, you guys know him. James Lonergan, my wrench in the live stream. Clyde Seaside from Adelaide, Australia. I talked to Clyde a lot of times. Shout out, baby. Thanks a lot for the support that you gave me. I really appreciate it. Randy Brown from Hanoi in the Philippines. One of my best friends. Thanks a lot, Randy. I really appreciate the time that you gave me while I was stuck and in my depressed mode. Walter Lavender, of course, from Pirate Cove. Shout out, Walter. And Ed Crandall, of course, from Ed's Midnight Grill. Thank you, sir. We spoke a few times as well. Last but not least, Antonio Rios. Thank you, sir. I spoke to him many times. Shout out to all you guys. I really appreciated the support you gave me. And again, it's so good to be back. Thanks again, and we're going to see you real soon on Philo in the Philippines. Bye now.